Romance isn't a single spark tossed across a quiet room. It's a long conversation that stretches across centuries. Through streets paved with cobblestones. Through letters sealed with wax. Through the whistle of trains and the glow of a lantern. The evolution of romance. A historical journey invites you to travel with me across time and see how hearts adapt, endure, and blossom when patience, trust, and hope are tended with care. We begin in ancient dawns where love appeared as a quiet promise between two wanderers following the same sun across a desert and the same bread shared under starry skies. In those days, romance wasn't loud. It was a mutual agreement to keep faith alive when fear was louder. We hear the soft tapping of a stylus on clay. A lover's name pressed into wet clay. A vow spoken in a language of siblings and tribes. The romance here is less about fireworks and more about a patient choosing of another's company day after day, season after season. The heart learning to speak through small acts of fidelity. Move forward to ancient cities where schemes and scrolls hum with ambition. The letters that lovers pass. Hidden in folds of fabric or tucked into the lining of a cloak. Become gateways between bodies and souls that distance would otherwise erase. In these moments, romance learns to breathe in the margins, the pause between a line of verse and a reply. The waiting that makes a single yes feel like a miracle. You feel the tenderness in a promise delivered not with a shout but with a steady, quiet commitment to hold a heart safe until it is ready to beat aloud again. Then the medieval chorus swells, with knights and ladies choosing mercy over conquest, and courtly lovers who carry their adoration like a lantern under the night. Here romance wears a mask of refinement. Yet the ink beneath the mask is bold. Devotion that survives the boundaries of behavior, the risk of public scrutiny, and the weight of family duty. In the verses of troubadours and the songs stitched into banners, love becomes a daring pilgrimage to honor another's existence, to choose vulnerability, to learn the art of waiting with grace until the moment is right. As the Renaissance unfurls, imagination grows wings. The invention of the printing press makes ideas portable and contagious. And romance learns to spread beyond the palace walls. Lovers now write salons as intimately as poets once wrote odes. Trading not just flirtation but philosophy, the belief that two souls can challenge a world together. Not by drowning one another in passion but by lifting each other toward a shared horizon. The heart discovers that vulnerability is not weakness but a gateway to trust. And trust becomes the soil in which tenderness roots deeply. We slide into the bustling 19th century, where cities bloom and the pace of life accelerates with railways and steam. Love is tested by distance. By letters that travel like fragile birds between two rooms. By the ache of silence when a beloved is far away. Yet in these letters you can hear a stubborn clarity: I will be here when you return. The romance of this era shows perseverance wearing a gentle elegance, the idea that staying faithful to a promise can feel like a quiet rebellion against the hurry of modern life. And when lovers finally reunite, the moment is not sudden fireworks but a soft, grateful dawn. As if the world learned to pause and offer a second chance. SFX. Train_whistle, 3 into the 20th century, cinema, radio. And the car's glow redraw the map of romance. We fall in love to the silver screen, where heroes and heroines teach us that love can be messy. That miscommunication can be corrected with patience. And that happiness often arrives after days of doubt. The era asks us to believe in timing the right message at the right moment. The courage to call when fear makes a call difficult. And the grace to forgive a misstep. Romance becomes a collaboration. A partnership measured in late-night conversations, shared playlists, and the careful choosing of a life against the pull of easier paths. SFX. Cinema_real_hiss, 3 the late century and the dawn of the digital era tighten the weave between hearts through screens and signals. Texts replace letters. Yet the heartbeat behind the message remains the same. A desire to be known and to know another person's truth. The romance here is about courage and vulnerability, sharing fears, confessing longing, asking for help, and accepting imperfection as part of love's pure, stubborn beauty. It's about learning to listen not just with the ears but with the body, the way a touch on the shoulder can say, "I'm here, I hear you, you matter." SFX. Phone_text_beep, 1 and today. We stand at a crossroads where romance can travel without borders yet requires the oldest of tools, patience, generosity, and the willingness to grow. The modern love story might begin with a like or a laugh, but it sustains itself by showing up again tomorrow, the same two people, choosing to learn how to love better than they did yesterday. It's about acknowledging that happiness is not a finite prize but a garden you cultivate together. Rain or shine is not a line but a circle that invites us to return to the essential truth. Love thrives when we refuse to abandon the work of becoming better for another's sake, and when we show up with curiosity, empathy, and a belief that a true, lasting romance is not only possible but inevitable if we keep choosing it. SFX. Soft_wind_chimes. 3. So what does this journey tell us about the kind of romance that endures? It tells us that love is not a flawless performance but a patient practice. It thrives in ordinary days, the quiet mornings, the shared meals, the hand found in the dark when fear becomes loud. It endures through misunderstandings that are spoken and resolved, through forgiveness that is earned rather than demanded, and through the stubborn, luminous choice to see the other person as they are and as they can become. It's a reminder that the best love stories unfold slowly, with each chapter adding texture, warmth, and resilience, until the ending feels earned, not owed. And the future feels bright because two people have learned to weather the weather together. If you're listening as a dreamer, a believer, or someone who once thought romance was a pageant you had to perfect, this journey invites you to reconsider what a happy ending can be. It isn't a single kiss in a perfect moment, but a lifetime of small, steadfast gestures that keep two souls aligned. The way one person waits when the other is frightened. The way two people listen until they truly hear. The way hope wires itself into habit and becomes a daily decision. True romance is an ongoing conversation that starts in a whisper and grows to a chorus you can hum together through life's inevitable storms. And so I invite you to carry this history with you, not as a constraint but as a compass. Let the ages remind you that love is ancient and new at once, that it travels through us when we choose to be present, compassionate, and brave enough to show up with all we are. The evolution isn't finished. It is ongoing in every kind touch, every courageous apology, every shared dream that grows into a plan. May your own romance be a continuation of this journey, a story that you write with someone you trust, one day at a time, guided by hope, and the simple belief that love, in its fullest form, can endure and finally bloom. If you found a moment here where your heart paused and listened, that pause is not empty. It is a doorway. Step through it with someone you care about, and begin again with tenderness, curiosity, and the quiet certainty that real love can, and does, endure. As you walk forward, imagine the countless couples who pressed onward through time, each adding a line to the chorus of romance. They learned that devotion is a daily practice, not a grand debut. The oldest stories remind us that companionship is built in ordinary acts. A kettle left on low for a friend whose hands tremble. A blanket shared on a night of storm. A promise kept when dawn comes too slowly. In every era, the invitation remains the same: choose to show up, again and again, even when the world asks you to hurry. The evolution of romance is really a map of attention, listening, noticing, choosing to stay when it would be easier to go. And when two people practice that kind of attention long enough, love becomes less about spectacle and more about belonging. A shelter quiet enough for a heartbeat to settle and grow. Let us carry this through to today's everyday miracles. A text that arrives at just the right moment. A shoulder offered without fanfare. A plan made together for a future built on shared values. The glow you feel when a partner remembers your smallest preference is a door opening to trust, a sign that you were seen. Romance is not a museum piece frozen in time. It's a living practice that thrives when both people choose curiosity over complacency, courage over certainty, and kindness over accusation. It survives because it learns to forgive the small trespasses with a tenderness that feels like home.